today. From Ford Field in Detroit, NFL on EA Sports. It's the Detroit Lions taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Now Jones. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now a 2nd down at 6. Now it's Palmer. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Dillon now on 1st and 10. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. There you go, play action with Palmer. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Palmer. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Palmer now. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. From the right hash, this from 53. And this will split the uprights. It's right down. 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
We see Matthew Stafford, the one-time Georgia Bulldog, set to pilot the offense of the Detroit Lions.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. The numbers for Sanders last week, 13 carries, 99 yards.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return will stop right around the 25. Oh, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's up.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So that changes things, no doubt. We thought we might be on the verge of our initial score of the game, but after that interception,
the long return.
Yeah, then they had that long return, and now it's the other sideline who might be the first to put the points up. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He's got to feel grateful at this point. The defense was able to get the turnover and get the ball back because he threw the interception last time. Could be a 2-score deficit right now. Instead, still 1 score.
Grateful, relieved. Now he gets to turn to his offense and say, look at the gift we got from our teammates. Let's make sure we take advantage of it now. It could be, as you noted, a much bigger deficit.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Stafford now to throw. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And that gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Stafford. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Now for the point after. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Jones. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. So problems there on the return, very costly, not what you need when you've just surrendered the lead.
Not at all, because this now has a chance to really snowball on them quickly. Their offense was on the sidelines talking about getting on the field and getting that score back.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
3rd and 2. Now Palmer. Throw left side complete. That's Kelly. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll run on first down. Dillon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They give to Dillon out of the gun. Shreds the tackle. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. On 3rd and 1, it's Palmer. So we get a traffic there, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Quick completion here to Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Running left is Dillon. Dillon a first down and more. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 46 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Green brings it in. 7 yards, the pickup there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead. Here's the big man Dillon with it, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Palmer will throw. The quick slant caught. Touchdown Bengals. Tyler Eifert, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
He was trying to go back to more there, and it's 3rd down. To throw is Stafford. He's airing it out for Williams, and that'll be incomplete. Now they took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. From the gun, it's Palmer. Now swing pass for Dillon. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. On 1st down, Dillon. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he's got a Bengals 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42. So 2 1st downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. On the handoff, Dillon. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw it with Palmer. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter Kevin Huber to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return, and the Lions will take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Here's Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Now Stafford. And Sanders has got it complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. From the gun, it's Dillon, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now Palmer on 1st down. He gets this one to Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. He gets it left side to Johnson. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Palmer to throw again. Again, it's Johnson. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
I like the fact that they didn't overcomplicate things on that call. 3rd and 2. Just run the quick little hitch, which they did. Ball's out of quarterback's hands. And yes, indeed, they pick up the 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down here with Palmer. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Palmer to throw. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Again, it's Palmer. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Ball on the 8. 2nd and 2. Now Palmer to throw. Touchdown. A.J. Green. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. Looking to pick up some steam, generate some steam right now, down on the scoreboard and struggling a bit.
And sometimes you have to find it from places you don't ordinarily get it. Not necessarily just going back and throwing the football. Maybe use your legs a little bit. Maybe rely on some teammates, get the ball in their hands. Anything to try and generate a spark. But bottom line, he has to play a lot better.
Yeah, he does. He's got the 2 INTs and the 1 touchdown pass so far. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Sanders. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. On 1st down, it's Stafford. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Stafford. It's caught by Sanders. And he's got this down to the 35.
Well, he was a busy and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Again, it's Stafford. And Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Palmer. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. On 3rd down, here's Dillon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And they will have a 1st down as they are definitely in field goal range now, down at the 20-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So after the interception, here's Palmer. His throw caught right around the 6. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this 1st half. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half. Stafford's throw complete there to Johnson.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. On 1st and 10, Stafford. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford. Open man. He's got him. The tight end, Hockenson. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
What was that, Rob?
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Another run with Sanders. He can't get him down. And he's got this down to the 35.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And the Lions are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The try here for the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So here are the of this second half. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff to Dillon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. To throw is Palmer. Caught. Eifert over the middle. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stopped him short.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense set to take over. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Well, the drive starts with a completion left side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run at Sanders. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now a carry for Sanders. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Stafford on third down. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They were losers to the Packers a week ago, but they've got the lead right now here as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. Fights off the defender. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Again, it's Dillon. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now to throw on 3rd down. Oh, the slant complete to Green. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Throwing now, Palmer on 1st down. Incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he's...
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big...
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now Stafford. And it's complete to the tight end, Pettigrew. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On second down, Dillon. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. Out of the gun, Palmer. On the right side, caught by Green. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Off the play fake. Here's Palmer. He'll check this down, complete to Dillon. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down. Palmer now. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the... And he can't get away from the pressure. Palmer sacked. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. Now, Bengals on third down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 17. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And Detroit getting set to go now. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Stafford. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Carlos Dunlap able to record his 5th sack of the season. When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, certainly not often that we see an offensive team kind of breathe a sigh of relief when a ball is tipped and falls incomplete. But when you've thrown 4 interceptions in the game, that actually counts as not progress, but counts as something good because it didn't go against your team, and now he gets a chance to make another throw.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
On first down, it's Palmer. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Johnson the intended target, but it'll be second down. On the handoff, this is Dillon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Now Palmer. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And unfortunately for him, this montage, not highlights, lowlights in this one, partner.
Way too many mistakes, too many errors. Sometimes it's on the guy throwing the ball, sometimes it's on the teammates, but it all comes back to him. It goes on his ledger. So when you're playing this type of a game, you start to look for other ways to get out of it. Do you throw it to shorter passes, some check downs, maybe use your legs a little bit more, don't throw the ball downfield, all those things you're looking for, and then you got to watch the tape and figure it all out so the next time it doesn't happen again.
So far the tape, 4 interceptions. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. Stafford. And now here's another interception. Picked off around the 41. And they will finally get him down. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run now with Dillon, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now it's Palmer. He's got Green. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Palmer. And that'll be complete to Dillon. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give him the yardage yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. Dillon. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Palmer. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. From the 36, Stafford looking for the out route, and he's got more. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
The Bengals getting set to go. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
On 2nd down, another run for Dillon. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. Oh, he gets free left side. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. On 3rd and goal, Palmer. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Joe Mixon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Point after here coming up. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw as this play will stand as is. Here's Johnson with a reception. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2. Stafford's going to try and throw for it. That's caught. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure. But that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready. Because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Green able to dance free. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run on first down. Dillon, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They run once more with Dillon. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, Mixon, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And the Lions head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So Stafford and the Lions now down by 16, 1:07 remaining. Somehow they need to come up with a pair of touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. Stafford on first down. Into the hands of Sanders. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. That swung out wide to Sanders. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now a first down throw, Stafford. The Bengal pressure gets him that time, down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. They've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Bengals, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens.